Erin.
And I'm Mia.
And today we're going to be talking about the production and cost functions.
So first we're going to be talking about production function, and that is the relationship between the quantity of inputs used to make a good and the quantity of output of that good. So this is the graph of the production function, and it shows the relationship between input on the x-axis and output on the y. And there are two different types of inputs, variable and fixed. And so variable inputs can be changed to increase production, whereas fixed inputs cannot be changed in the near term to increase production. And there's also a difference between the short run and the long run. In the short run, at least one input is fixed because the time period is too brief for a firm to alter its plant size. But in the long run, all inputs must be variable because this period of time is long enough for a firm to vary all of its inputs, including capital. So now we're going to be talking about what a firm produces. So total product is the total output a firm produces, and marginal product is the additional output produced as the result of hiring just one more unit of input. And so a firm also experiences diminishing returns, and which means as more and more of a variable input is added to a fixed input, the additional output produced will decline. And then also diminishing marginal product is the property whereby the marginal product of an input declines as the quantity of the input increases. There are also various types of costs and profits. So explicit and implicit are the two types of costs. Explicit costs are input costs that require an outlay of money by the firm, such as labor and material, whereas implicit costs are input costs that do not require an outlay of money by the firm. So this is basically the firm's opportunity cost. And for profit, there is economic, accounting, and normal. So economic product is the total revenue minus total cost, so it includes both explicit and implicit costs, whereas accounting profit is just total revenue minus total explicit cost, so it ignores implicit cost. And normal profit is when economic profit is equal to 0.
So next we're going to be talking about cost curves. So to begin, fixed costs are costs that do not vary with the quantity of output produced, and variable costs are costs that do vary with the quantity of output produced. So then total cost is the market value of the inputs a firm uses in production, and as you can see here, total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. Now, for average fixed cost, it is the fixed cost divided by the quantity of the output, and it decreases as you produce more, so continually throughout the graph, you can see. And then for average variable cost, that is variable cost divided by quantity, and variable cost decreases as you produce more, but then it increases once it hits the MC curve, and it goes up and rises and will continually get closer to the ATC curve. Now for the ATC curve, which is the average total cost, it is total cost divided by the quantity of the output, or it is AFC plus AVC. And it also decreases and then increases once it hits the marginal cost curve. And then the marginal cost is the increase in total cost that arises from the extra unit of the production, and then marginal cost decreases as you produce more and then increases. The long run average cost curves for a firm is U-shaped like the short run average cost curves, but for a different reason. So to begin, an efficient scale is the quantity of output that minimizes the average total cost. And so here we have the economies of scale, which is a property whereby long run average total cost falls as the quantity of the output increases, and the reasons for the economies of scale is because of specialization, buying in bulk, and high startup cost. Next, we have the constant returns to scale, which is a property whereby long run average total cost stays the same as the quantity of output changes. And finally, we have the diseconomies of scale, which is a property whereby long run average total cost rises as the quantity of output increases.